Chapter 16. Annie got Bruno out of the back seat, and as the three of us approached the house, the front door opened, and out came an attractive middle-aged woman with shoulder-length dark hair gently swaying as she walked across the porch. She wore a gray pantsuit and looked like she might be heading off to work. Behind her was a fit-looking, middle-aged man with sandy blonde hair. I could see the resemblance in me. He was wearing dress pants and a dress shirt, but no tie. When we got close enough, the woman threw her arms around me and said, "John, we are so happy to see you. Annie told us what happened." She pulled away and wiped the tears out of her eyes. The man then hugged me and said, "Welcome home, son. We are so happy you're alive. We were naturally worried when you disappeared, but we never gave up hope." "I'm sorry I can't remember," I said. "I wish I could. You both seem very nice. I bet I had a good childhood." "I think you did," the woman said. "You were mostly a happy child." "Mostly? Well, everybody has off days." "I hope we are not interrupting," I said. "You two seem dressed up. Were you heading out?" "Your parents own a construction company," Annie said. "They stayed home when I told them we were coming because they wanted to see you." "Do you really not remember?" the man asked. "I'm sorry. I don't remember anything," I said. "Well, I'm Marie, and this is John Sr., but you can just call us Mom and Dad," she said. "Come on inside," Dad said, and we followed them into the house. After we got inside, we walked to the right into a large living room. Annie and I sat on a sofa to the left. Bruno lay on the floor next to Annie. Mom and Dad sat on a love seat to our left. Behind them, to the right, was a gun case tucked away in the corner with 4 rifles inside. Dad saw me looking at it and said, "You used to go deer hunting every fall since you were 14. I would take you out of school for a week. Mom hated it, but I thought a week of real-world experience was better than anything you could learn in school. It didn't take long before you were shooting better than me. Do you remember any of that?" "I'm sorry, Dad, I don't. Those sound like great memories." "No need to be sorry, son. I'm sure it will come back to you in time. Perhaps we can do it again sometime." I said, "I would love that," Dad said. "Can I get you two anything?" Mom interrupted. "No, thanks," I said. "We just had breakfast." "Oh, too bad. I could have cooked something for you. I'd love to take a rain check on that." "Of course," she said. "Do you want to look around? Maybe something will jog your memory." "Sure," I said, and we all got up for a tour of the house. Mom led the tour, with Dad following us. She showed us the kitchen, which was very large with an island in the middle. The back door was next to the kitchen. She took us outside to see the large deck they had recently built onto the house. The master bedroom was near the kitchen and had a sliding door that opened onto the deck. Mom then took us upstairs to show us my bedroom. On the way up, I noticed many family photos hanging on the wall. One picture caught my eye. I was sure I had seen it before. It was a boy, perhaps 13 years old, standing on a pier next to a girl, maybe 8 years old. The girl was holding a fishing pole with a small fish hanging from it. She had a big smile, as if she were proud of herself for catching the fish. "I've seen this photo before," I said. "I don't know how, but I remember this." "Are you sure?" Annie said. "Yes," I said. "How is this possible?" "This is great news," Dad said. "It's a sign your memory is returning." "That is a picture of you and your sister Joni," Mom said. "You were teaching her how to fish." Suddenly, a feeling of intense sadness came over me. "She died, didn't she?" I asked. Mom looked at Dad and back at me. "Yes, she did. That is the last photograph we have of her." I have a vague recollection of a car accident. "We were coming back from a camping trip, the one where that photo was taken," Mom said as she wiped tears from her eyes. "A garbage truck ran a red light and slammed into our car, where Joni was sitting. You were sitting beside her, and thankfully, only had a few bruises. At that point, she started crying and turned her head so I wouldn't see her. I put my hand on her shoulder and said, 'It's okay to be sad, Mom.' She shook her head and wiped her eyes. 'No, this is a happy day. Let's go check out your room.' We continued up the stairs, and Mom opened the bedroom door. I walked in first, followed by Mom, Annie, and Dad. A full-size bed was against the far wall under a window. To the left was a closet that took up the entire wall. To the right was a dresser, and next to the door was a 4-drawer chest with a television on it. Nothing was hanging on the walls. "Do I keep it this clean?" I asked. "You've been known to make a mess or two in your lifetime, but since you joined the army, you've become a bit of a clean freak. I just wish you had joined when you were 5, Mom said, and we all laughed. "Would you mind giving us a few minutes?" I asked. "Come on, Marie," Dad said. "We'll be downstairs if you need us." They stepped out and closed the door behind them. "You remembered something," Annie said. "I told you John was in there." "Yes, and now I can't help but wonder if there are other memories of John's that I think belong to Alex. Only time will tell, but I suspect you have more than one of John's memories floating around in your head." "Listen," I said. "My parents seem like good people. You were smart to tell them what you did. If we discover more memories that belong to John, we should probably tell them. I think they will be happy to know it, but I don't want them to have unrealistic expectations. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's just see what we can find that could be useful." "A driver's license would be helpful," I said. Annie looked through the chest, and I checked the dresser drawers. "We should pack some of your clothes. You can stay with me until we figure everything out. I can't think of anywhere I'd rather be." The drawers contained nothing useful, so we checked the closet. Several jackets, shirts, pants, and John's army uniform hung on the right side of the closet. The left side was mostly empty, except for a few hand weights and a couple of boxes of memorabilia from John's school days. On the shelf was a small safe, about the size of a toaster oven. I pulled it out and put it on the bed. It had an electronic keypad with numbers on it. "Do you know the combination?" I asked Annie. "No, but there is a fingerprint scanner." "I think our luck is improving," I said as I pressed my index finger against the scanner. Nothing happened. "Try your left hand," Annie said. I put my left index finger against the scanner, and it opened. Inside was a handgun and a holster. I said, "Am I left-handed?" "No," Annie said. "Knowing you, you probably thought it was more efficient to use your left hand. That way, you could use your right hand to throw open the top and grab the gun." "That makes sense," I said as I took the gun out to look at it. I didn't know anything about guns, but I thought it would be helpful to have it. I set the gun on the bed along with its holster. I also found a passport in the safe. I looked at it and saw it was current. It's not a driver's license, but it is helpful. Under the passport was a money clip with 10 $100 bills. I looked at Annie and asked, "Was I worried about something? This looks like the beginning of a go bag." "If you were worried about something, you didn't tell me," she said. "It could be that you just wanted to be ready for anything." "There's something else in here," I said. I pulled out a small box and opened it. Inside was a beautiful diamond engagement ring and a diamond-studded wedding band. I showed it to Annie. "Oh my God," she said. "They're beautiful. You asked me to marry you about a month before you disappeared. You said you were saving for a ring, but I had no idea you bought it." "Here, try it on," I said, and put the ring on her finger. She held her hand up to the light and said, "It's perfect. I love it. Thank you." She kissed me and then checked out her ring again. "I wish I could take more credit for it. My parents are going to wonder about us. We should find a bag and pack up this stuff." I found a gym bag in the closet and put some clothes in it along with the gun, money, passport, and wedding ring. Annie kept the engagement ring on her finger. We headed downstairs and found Mom, Dad, and Bruno waiting for us in the living room. "You're taking clothes with you, son?" Dad said. "We thought maybe you would want to stay here for a while." "I'd like that, Dad, but Annie is helping me put my life in order, and I need her right now. I hope you understand." "I see you gave her the ring," Mom said. "You knew about that?" I asked. "Of course. You asked for my help in picking it out." "Well, he certainly went to the right person for advice," Annie said, looking at the ring again. "He loves you more than you know," Mom said. "I don't know if this memory problem has affected your relationship, but remember, love comes from the heart. Love doesn't forget." "I'll remember that," Annie said. "I hate to leave so quickly," I said, "but we have a lot to do today. As soon as I get my affairs in order, I want to come back here and reminisce about my life with you." "This is your home," Mom said. "You are always welcome." "Thank you both so much," I said. "Thank you," Annie said. "Wait," Dad said. "Don't you want to see your car?" "My car," I said. "Yes," he said. You spent years restoring it." We all went to the garage from the outside, and Dad entered a code that opened the door on the left side. As it opened, it revealed the front end of a classic Mustang. Once fully opened, I saw it was a '69 Mustang Mach 1 Fastback. It was one of my dream cars when I was younger. I mean, when Alex was younger. This one was black with a red stripe down the side. "It's beautiful," I said. "A '69, right?" "Yup," Dad said. "Does it have the 428? I asked. "You seem to know a lot for a guy with memory loss," Dad said. "Are you remembering this?" "I don't know," I said. "Maybe I am." I couldn't tell him Alex was fascinated by Mustangs. "Did I bring this to work?" "No," he said. "You drove your Dakota." "Where's that?" I asked. "It was in Parker's lot," he said. "It was impounded when you disappeared. The police needed it for their investigation. I've been trying to get it back, and they kept telling me soon, but I'm still waiting. Maybe it would be easier for you to get it back now that you are okay." "I wouldn't exactly say I'm okay, Dad," I said. "You're here, aren't you?" he said. "That's okay in my book." "Didn't anyone wonder why I disappeared without my car?" "Sure," he said. "We heard plenty of speculation. Of course, Parker covered his ass by hinting that you were mentally unstable. Naturally, I knew that was bullshit. Anyway, do you want to take the car for a drive?" "I'd love to." "The keys are in the ashtray. Go ahead." I motioned to Annie to come with me, and we got in the car. It was almost perfect inside. It had black vinyl seats and a black dashboard. I retrieved the key from the ashtray, put it in the ignition, and then started the engine. It came to life with a roar. I pulled it out of the garage slowly and then turned right onto the street. "I know a good road," Annie said, directing me out of the neighborhood. After about 5 minutes, we were in a rural area on a straight and flat stretch of road. "Let's see what this baby's got," I said, and pushed down on the accelerator. Immediately, we were pressed into our seats as the car quickly exceeded 100 miles per hour. The speed felt exhilarating, but I was not used to driving that fast, so it also made me a bit nervous. I decided to slow down and turn around. I figured one more time wouldn't hurt, so I pushed it past 110 this time before slowing down and heading back. When we got back to the house, I backed the car into the garage, closed the door, and we went inside to say our goodbyes. We all hugged again before collecting Bruno and heading out. We got in Annie's Explorer and backed out of the driveway as Mom and Dad waved. "Did you enjoy your visit?" Annie said. "I did," I said. "My parents are nice people. I wanted to stay longer, but I don't feel comfortable sitting around doing nothing while Parker and Gabriella are out looking for me. I want to prepare for them." "Do you have a plan?" she said. "No, but I have been pretty good at winging it so far," I said. "So, winging it is your plan?" she asked. "I'm open to suggestions." She didn't reply. We both just looked out the window for a while, and then I said, "Can you teach me how to use a gun?" "You don't know?" she said. "I never needed a gun before," I said. "Alex never needed a gun," she said. "You most certainly did. Firing a gun is something that should be engraved in your soul. Your mind may not know, but your body surely does." "My body may know, but my mind doesn't," I said. "Please help me get the two into sync." "Okay," she said. "I know a place we can go." This audiobook continues on the next video. For more information on this book and others by this author, please visit charleshuss.com.